Yo guys, Spotter here, and NGT News is back! We're back with some E3 coverage. We're going to start off with the Microsoft press conference at E3, which was held this morning. I did some live coverage over on Twitch TV/NextGen Tactics, but wanted to summarize it for you here. And there are a few things that look pretty interesting. They're providing some value to existing Xbox 360 owners, gold membership owners as well. So we're going to get into it. They started off with Rare. This was actually previous to the press release, the press conference. And they announced Kinect Sports Rivals. And it looks like it's an exclusive. I mean, it's a Kinect, obviously a game. More towards family-oriented. I want to sit there with a controller. I don't want to use Kinect and jump all over the place and get all winded, because it would only take about 30 seconds for that to happen. Okay, so the first, actually in the conference, the Kinect thing, the Rare title was in game trailers coverage prior to the press conference for Microsoft. So the first thing they showed that looked absolutely fantastic. It's definitely not an Xbox One exclusive. It's called the Phantom Pain. It's part of the Metal Gear Solid series of games. It's an open world. It looks like a cross between, to me, Metal Gear Solid and like Red Dead Redemption. Some fantastic elements to this game. Like I said, not an exclusive. The Xbox 360, they talked about the Xbox 360, dropped a new model, which is now available today. Also, starting July 1st for all gold members. 2 free games per month until the Xbox One releases. So they're really trying to compete with Sony's PlayStation Plus, and that's a good move. People are going to get a lot of value. I'm not sure the catalog of games they're going to provide. Maybe games that you already have, unfortunately. But if it's not, hey, you get some free games for having a gold membership with Xbox 360. World of Tanks is coming as an Xbox 360 arcade title. It's a free-to-play, free download. Max, The Curse of Brotherhood is another title that's coming to the Xbox 360, as well as Dark Souls 2, which I believe we saw in the PS4 press conference, if I'm not mistaken. All right, then they got into the Xbox One itself. Rise, Son of Rome from Crytek. That game was the first one they showed. That's where I was talking about the free-to-play, and I wanted to talk about that. It's going to be available at launch. It looks like an absolutely fantastic game. And they mentioned in-game purchases. Now, I know Crytek, there was something about Crytek just wanting to go free-to-play. I don't know if this is a completely free-to-play title. I would doubt it. Maybe it's a full-price title. Maybe it's a discounted title. They definitely, during the gameplay and during the press conference, they mention in-game purchases. So that's the thing that got me thinking about the possibility of it being a free-to-play title. They showed some Killer Instinct, which was interesting. Sunset Overdrive from Insomniac Games. Again, these are exclusives to Xbox One. Obviously, Insomniac responsible for the Resistance series of games over on the PlayStation 3. Forza 5 Motorsport, again, that's going to be at launch. So the only at-launch titles we've seen for Xbox One so far are Rise and Forza 5, and I don't think any other exclusives were specifically defined as being available at launch. Now, again, I'm just going from the press conference. I'm sure details will come up, ongoing for release dates and when these things are going to come out. All right. Quantum Leap we saw, which looked pretty interesting. Project Spark, a lot of talking to your Kinect and making things happen in Project Spark. It looks like a community type game, which is pretty interesting. Then they talked a little bit about Xbox One being enabled with Twitch. So they've partnered with Twitch. You're going to be able to stream direct from your Xbox One. There was no mention. I would imagine they would incorporate the Kinect as the camera, etc. I would think that would be included with that, so you could put a face cam on, which is what I like to do, and that would be pretty cool. And I could still, kind of record at the same time, my gameplay as well for production of videos, etc. I mean, that's just coming from my perspective. They're getting rid of Microsoft points. No more Microsoft points. We're going to actually be talking in real dollars, pounds, whatever currency you deal with in your country of origin. You don't have to deal with Microsoft points, which is Thank you. A couple other games, Prince and Dragon, and then Dead Rising 3, an Xbox One exclusive. That game looks fantastic. Far better, a far improvement over Dead Rising 2. It still has a lot of similar mechanics, obviously, but the gameplay that we saw here at E3 looked absolutely fantastic. All right, some other games, and these aren't exclusives. They showed Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, and I believe that's also confirmed for PS4 as well as PC. Battlefield 4, once they actually got around to it, because there was a bit of a delay, they couldn't get the feed to start. Maybe it was because they were booting the PC that the gameplay played. I don't know. I don't know if the gameplay was actually from a PC, but it had the back button to battle log up in the top right of the screen. So not sure, but either way, one thing that Microsoft has secured with DICE is that the first DLC, Second Assault, is going to be a timed exclusive for Xbox One. So it was specifically identified. It looks like it's only going to be that first DLC. And if you know the release date, Battlefield 4 release date is in October, and we'll get to the release date that was announced for the Xbox One. They showed another game called Below. They showed parts of a game from Black Tusk Studios. Not sure if it's Thief. It looked like a cross between that maybe and Mission Impossible. Not sure why they showed it, because who knows when that's going to be released. Halo 5, 2014 sometime. It looked good, absolutely. And then they announced the release time frame and the price for the Xbox One. November 2013, no specific date. Who knows, they may time it with the release of Call of Duty Ghosts. And it's the price tag is $499, US, Canada, and $429, something like 429. I think it was 429 pounds in the UK. So that's, it's a significant price tag, but I think PS4 will probably be up there as well. We'll have to see what they do, what they announce tonight. And again, and the Kinect, you're also paying for that. I mean, if you could get away and get a Kinectless Xbox One, they might have, dropped the price $100, but that's what you're paying for, I guess. Okay, and then the last gameplay they showed, and I was waiting around for them, like, where's Respawn? So they did show some Titanfall gameplay going to be released in 2014. They showed multiplayer gameplay. I mean, it was pre-recorded. It's not like they were playing right there, but it looked good. It looked like a fast-paced, futuristic shooter. And you have to see, go check out the gameplay. I'm sure you can find it on the interwebs somewhere. I mean, it looked pretty good. I'm disappointed and it's not going to be an Xbox One exclusive. It's going to be Xbox One /PC. It just won't be coming on to the PS4. So that was it. That's everything they talked about. There's some other points that I think there was only one other point actually I wanted to make. They talked about cloud, using the cloud for the games, and some of the developers that were there mentioned, we're going to use the cloud to do these calculations, and it's going to make the games look better. It's going to make the games run better than the core hardware of the Xbox One will provide for the games. My only issue with that is, again, it goes to this whole connected thing, which they really didn't talk about. They didn't talk about anything having to do with the sale of used games. They didn't talk about anything having to do with privacy and having to be connected, which, every 24 hours, you got to be connected. Otherwise, you're going to lose access to your entire game library. So they never covered that. I didn't think they would, because I don't think they wanted that to be an overtone on the conference. But this thing with using the cloud to improve the gameplay experience kind of bothers me, because if you're not connected to the internet and you're playing these games, it seems like you're going to get a lessened experience. You're not going to get the full experience that the game can provide by not being online, which is a little bit disappointing, because there are quite a few people. I mean, I have limited bandwidth that's running, I have a connection that's going to my consoles. I have limited bandwidth. I have limited speed. So is that going to impact me, especially when I'm playing multiplayer? I mean, I might have to switch it over to the higher bandwidth connection, but I have that luxury. Some people don't. They aren't necessarily connected to their internet all the time. Maybe some kids have their Xbox in their bedrooms or something. They don't have Ethernet running for their internet up into their room. So, they're not going to be able they're not even going to be able to play the Xbox One because they're not connected, right? So I don't know. There's still an issue there. I just don't like to see what I feel it seems like it will be a lesser experience not having a connection for those people. I mean, it's not going to impact me, like I said, but that's just something I wanted to bring up. So that's about it. We learned, obviously, a lot more about what's going on. We only have two launch exclusive launch titles. It looks like Rice and Forza 5. And one thing that I wanted to mention that came out today as well, and Microsoft's paying a lot of money to third-party devs to get these exclusives. I mean, they're forking out the dollars, and I really think they don't have that first-party development that's going to come at launch or even in 2014. And an article, and I'll link you in the description. An article just came across that potentially Microsoft is even paying third-party publishers to not show PS4 games at E3. And this is from NeoGAF or Softpedia. Sorry, was it NeoGAF or Softpedia? One of these guys. But those are the rumors floating around that they're paying guys off to not show their gameplay on PS4s, to just show it on Xbox Ones. I think that's pretty underhanded, but I don't know. We'll see what happens with the press conference tonight and see what comes out of Sony's conference. We do have EA as well this afternoon and Ubisoft. So we'll see. Hopefully they don't get the same presenters for Ubisoft that they had last year. Man, that was just that was horrendous. I'm sorry. I know. I don't know. I think they were trying to be too funny. But anyways, that's it. That was the Xbox press conference. And if you guys want to follow me later tonight on the Sony conference, then make sure you check out the live stream. Links in the description, twitch.tv/NextGenTactics. NGT News is out, guys. I'm Spider. Later.